Hey everybody, David here, and we are back with another video. Hopefully you all are doing well, and in today's video, I am going to be talking about some fragrances over here that are going to leave you a positive scent trail once you leave that room or that area you're in. So basically what I mean by that is, you're talking to a group of people or just one person, you're in the office for prime example, you're in some room or in some situation, you're with other people, and you leave, you walk away, and that fragrance is still there, so it acts like you are still there, but the people are going to be wondering like, hey, what's that smell? That smells so darn good. And it's your fragrance, and it's leaving that scent trail. So that's what I mean by positive scent trail. Basically, you're there, but you're not there because you're long gone, but the fragrance is still in that area. Now, I have fragrances over here that have done that for me. It's very rare, I will say. You know, I see these videos, people saying, oh, this has got me a bunch of compliments, this and that and the third. You know, a lot of the stuff that, at least in my opinion, what I have experience in, it's rare when this happens. But with these fragrances, it has happened, you know, in the workplace for me especially. And I tried to gear this list towards more spring and summertime scents. And I will say I haven't worn some of these in the summer yet, but usually in spring you can also wear in summer. You just gotta play with the sprays a little bit. And also too, a lot of these would work in the fall and winter time, but I feel like these are more suited towards that spring and summer. And I have one fragrance over here, a niche fragrance that I have not worn yet in the summer, the fall, or the winter. I have worn it in the spring, and it did that positive scent trail that we're looking for in this video. So if you are looking for more fragrance content like reviews or more lists after this video, make sure to check out the rest of the videos on the channel. Greatly appreciate any support you give me. And with all that out of the way, let's hop into this video. First one we're going to be talking about with this positive scent trail is from the house of Jean Paul Gaultier. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that sometimes. And I went with the Le Beau Le Parfum today. And, you know, with this one, I could have went with the original Le Beau, or I could have went with the new one, Paradise Garden. But I wanted to give the Le Parfum some love because this one is more dense, more richer in my opinion. And it works well in that spring, and I have worn it in the summertime too. It does work, such as the OG Le Beau, and then, you know, Paradise Garden just came out this year, and I have wore that in the spring, and it works just as well. But I wanted to show some love to the Le Parfum because the performance, the longevity is very nicely done with this fragrance compared to the original. And so some notes you're going to get in here, you're going to get some coconut, pineapple, sandalwood, tonka bean, and a little bit of iris, a little bit of patchouli as well, and some cypress in here. I will say the main player in this fragrance is going to be that coconut, a little sunscreen-esque in this fragrance. It does have that juicy pineapple up top, and that tonka bean is going to give it a really good sweetness. And this is going to leave you that scent trail. And I will say that pineapple and that ginger, I forgot to mention ginger's known here, it does work well together. In the main accords, this one's sweet, fruity, fresh, creamy, and synthetic. And with this one, like I said, the longevity, the performance is going to be very nicely done compared to the original Le Beau. And this is a great summertime fragrance, I will say. And you can wear it in that early spring and late spring as well. And like I said, that pineapple is a little sour to my nose, but it's also very juicy, in my opinion, with this fragrance. But it's got that creamy coconut, but the coconut also has a sunscreen feel to it, in my opinion, on this fragrance here. And, you know, like I said, it's got very good performance, and, you know, you could consider this a clubbing fragrance, but I would wear this anywhere and everywhere. You just got to be careful. It's not a safe blind buy, so make sure you sample your fragrances before you try it out. But Le Beau Le Parfum, it's going to leave you that positive scent trail that we're looking for. So really enjoy this one, and really enjoy the line as well. So the next one, this is from the house of Xerjoff. And this is from the Join the Club line, and it is no over than 40 knots. As you can tell, I always preach about the samples. I got my sample of 40 knots. It's almost ran through, I guess you could say. So we'll put this next to Le Beau Le Parfum. And this one, it's kind of weird. So in the Join the Club line with Xerjoff, they don't have any notes listed for these fragrances. It's kind of like you got to use your imagination per se. But this one's a very unique scent in the sense that you can use this whenever, wherever. It's kind of like the Le Beau again. I'd wear this in the fall and winter time, but I feel like it's more suited for that summer and springtime. And overall, to my nose, what I get with this is basically it's kind of an aquatic scent per se, and I do get some sweetness as it dries down. The more it dries down, the more you'll get into that woody sweetness kind of, and I kind of feel like that sweetness is coming from honey. I might be wrong, but on my notes here, I put honey per se. And I will say this has got like a aquatic feel and a fresh feel, and it might be having some sea aspects to it. So this would be one that I could see a guy on a yacht wearing, but it could be a daily driver as well. I could see somebody wearing this like on a jet ski on a day on the beach. And this one's kind of, you know, it's as the fragrance dries down, it gets more warmer. Like I said, it's got some basically aquatic feel to it at the start of the fragrance, but as it dries down, more sweet, more woody. And I think the sweetness comes from that honey, and I think it's got some woods in here, but I think it's got like a note of sea breeze from what I understand. So that might be where that fresh aquatic feel is coming from. So it's very elegant fragrance for sure, but it's a complex one as well. But in my opinion, it's a mass appealing one that a lot of people are going to enjoy. And especially, like I said, I've had some reactions with that positive scent cloud with this one being in a group, and people asking, be like, what is that? What's going on? Like the next day when I saw him, because I wore this at work, and that's when it happened per se. So 40 Knots by Xerjoff, very nicely done fragrance here. Next one we're going to be talking about, this one, I don't feel like a lot of people have gotten their hands on it. It's kind of difficult to get. I don't even know if this has came out in the US yet. Don't quote me on that. I'm not too sure. I know it came out last year. It's from one of my favorite houses to get fragrances from. They usually always do good in that performance and longevity section for me. The one I went with today, they have a lot of fragrance, is Cosmic Pepper from Mancera. And then, like I said, you always get a plus because that magnetic cap here. Very nicely done. But with this Cosmic Pepper, man, this reminds me a little bit of Chanel Allure Sport. And then also too, it's kind of got a little twist to it from that DNA. And overall, this one, it's not the same. Like I said, it wouldn't be redundant to own both of those. But this one at the top, you're going to get some main accords. It's going to be citrusy. So that citrus is going to last for a very long time off my skin with this one. And also, it's fresh. It's a little bit synthetic, sweet, and floral. I will say with this, in the top, you're going to get some pink pepper, lemon, black pepper, and you're going to get some tangerine and some wild sage. In the heart, you got some rose. And then in the base, you got some tonka bean, white musk, and amber. And then you got some oak moss as well. I forgot to mention this has got some black pepper in the mid too. This is very office safe, I will say. And overall, this is a big citrus bomb. So what I mean by that is the citrus is going to last for quite a long time with this one, but you will get that floral aspect. It's not really peppery. I listed the black pepper, pink pepper, but overall, this one doesn't really reach too far in that spicy feel for me. Like I said, it's going to be more on that citrus side. It's going to be more fresh, citrusy, and floral, kind of what I mentioned before. That rose is going to be coming out. It does mention something about oud. I left that off because I do not get any oud in this. And usually with the Manceras, they have and Mancera does own another brand called Montal, and they put oud in a lot of their fragrances. That's the same with Mancera. They sometimes will list oud, but you never will smell it. Or if you do smell it, it's very faint. But this one, no oud for me. I get mainly that lemon, that tangerine, that rose, and then that white musk and tonka bean mainly in this fragrance, and a little bit amber. Overall, this is, in my opinion, this is an appealing citrus fragrance. It's going to leave a lasting impression once you leave that room, plain and simple. And, I kind of hope some more people get their hands on Cosmic Pepper, because it seems like, in my opinion, it's not unique at all, but it is something that is very enjoyable for a lot of people's noses. And overall, that performance and longevity is there for me. So, Cosmic Pepper is a good spring and summertime fragrance for sure. I will say they have two new ones coming out. I can't wait to get my nose on. I think one's called Eternal Wood. Can't wait to check that out. But Cosmic Pepper, make sure to get a sample of that. Try it out for yourselves and see what you think. Next one we'll be talking about is from the House of Valentino. And we're talking about the Born Aroma line, but we're going to be going with Intense. This one, in my opinion, has the best performance for me per se, and this one I really enjoy. It was, in my opinion, it was in my top 10 of 2023. I don't know if I made a list for that. I don't remember if I did on the channel. I didn't, but it was in my top 10 for sure. And don't worry, 2024, I'm going to be making a list for that. But this Valentino Born Aroma Intense, man, I prefer this over the original Born Aroma. This one is basically, it's a sweet, fresh, synthetic, fruity, woody fragrance. That's the main accords in this. It's got some vanilla up top, which I get that very prominent. It's got some lavender, nutmeg, and then it's got some vetiver in that base. And overall, this one is very sweet. I will say it kind of goes along the lines as the Le Beau Le Parfum. Pretty sweet, and that vanilla is done in the right way, in my opinion. But, you know, it does have some freshness here. They only list about 4 or 5 notes. That lavender, I think, gives it a little fresh aspect to it. And I will say the star of the show here is that vanilla and that lavender combining together, but it's very appealing. This leaves on my skin a big bubble around me, so if I'm walking anywhere, this is going to be lasting in that air for a little bit after I leave that situation. And overall, I have really got some positive attention with that Valentino. I don't have every fragrance from this line, but this one so far has been my favorite, the ones I have tested out. And that performance and longevity is there too. And like I said, it can be very sweet. It can be very fruity as well, but that freshness kind of equals it out so you can wear it in that spring and summertime. And I will say, probably with these two, you got to watch your sprays because, like I said, it is sweet, but they both have freshness to it. That's going to have it wearable for this time of year, of course. And it's going to leave that good scent trail. Somebody might pull you back and be like, hey, what are you wearing? So that's what this list is all about. And another thing with the Valentino Born Aroma Intense is that I don't really see that it dying off my skin. So what I mean by that is this lasts for quite a long time off my skin. And I know I've kind of mentioned that before, but I'm very pleased with this release. And overall, I need to check out more from the line. I know Green Extravaganza came out this year. I haven't checked that one out, but Valentino Born Aroma Intense, can't go wrong with that one. And then last but not least, this is the niche fragrance I just got, so I haven't been able to try it, but this is from the House of Unique Luxury, and this is Mango-nificent. Mango-nificent is the name, got a little nice green bottle to it. These caps are hefty. This one's pretty pricey. Oh my goodness, but this house, really want to get more into it. I have a few samples of this. I know I have another one called Marshumaro. I think that's how you pronounce it. But man, this one's killer. I heard the word mango, so I was like, hey, let me wear this in this springtime and see how this fragrance is. This one's not really getting a lot of love either, but I really enjoy this one. That mango note in this is very realistic. And this one's, the chords, it's gonna be woody, sweet, synthetic, fresh. And it's that honey and mango combo. Oh my gosh, it's just so darn good in this. And you know, it's kind of weird. So this is an extrait de parfum, but I went noseblind to this, and I came back, and that mango was still pumping off my skin 10 hours later with that honey. And that was the main 2 notes I got in this. Now, there is some other notes. There is some musk, which I did get the musk. Sandalwood, vanilla, geranium, jasmine, patchouli, and rose. And you do got some mossy notes, amber and bergamot. But the main players in this fragrance is that honey, mango, that musk. And I will say it will be some of that sandalwood, and maybe that vanilla is giving it a little bit more sweetness playing off that honey. But the 2 that are very appealing to my nose is that honey and that mango. And I will say, it's again like the Valentino here and the Le Beau here. It's not, to my nose, it's not overly powering sweet. It's something that is a little fresh, a little fruity, and it's a little sweet. And you combine that all, and it is totally wearable in that early springtime, late springtime as well. 60, 75 degree weather, 70, this would be perfect to pull out. You just in the summer, I haven't tested it, but you might want to be careful. It might be a little bit too sweet for that time. But overall, this leaves a great scent bubble around me. It leaves that trail that I keep mentioning in this video. And overall, this fragrance, this house from Unique Luxury, I can't wait to get more in, test them more, because I was very surprised by this mango note. And that's the reason I got this, is because I wanted a realistic mango. I wanted to have a little sweetness with it, but overall this is a good equal between that fruity, that sweet, and that fresh, in my opinion, with Mango-nificent. And overall too, you know, this is a unisex scent, but I will say men can pull this off just as well as women. And overall, you know, don't be afraid to try this one out, get a sample and try it out for yourself. So Mango-nificent from Unique Luxury is the last one rounding out this video. Let me know in the comments down below what all of your positive scent trail fragrances are. I'd be really interested to hear. Have you tried any of these on this list? And let me know what you think about these on this list here. And yeah, so there's my 5 for you. And you all have a good day, and I will see you on the next one, and stay classy.